Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Union, 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do tarot readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, twin flame, romance, general readings, life path and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to Twin Flame Questions Answered, where I answer one of your twin flame questions. And this question came from a one-on-one coaching client. And this person always brings up brilliant questions. And so I told my client, I'm going to use this in a video because it is brilliant. The question is, why do I feel I'm living a double life even though I am physically completely separated from my twin flame? That's what we're gonna address here right now. So if you're interested, please do stay tuned. Okay, this is the big one. Why do I feel like I'm living a double life even though my twin flame is nowhere to be found, not physically with me? I'm not texting, calling with them, none of the above. And I remember way back in 2018, it was December 5th, in fact, and I know this because I wrote it down. It was the moment at which I discovered that I was on the twin flame journey. To go back a little further than that, my twin flame and I met in September of 2018. Starting in October of 2018, we had a little 6-week romantic interlude, if you will, that promptly ended at the end of November. Now, he made it perfectly clear that he was no longer interested in anything romantic with me at that particular moment. And at that particular moment, an ex-boyfriend came back in the picture. Now, this ex-boyfriend wasn't geographically located near me, but the ex-boyfriend made it perfectly clear that he wanted to get back together. And so it was around that time, around December 5th, that I began to feel as if I was leading a double life. I began to feel as if I was cheating on this person that I had a 6-week romantic affair, if you will, with. And the person told me, I want nothing to do with you. And I'm like, why do I feel like I'm cheating on this person? This makes no logical sense. And it was at that point that I started talking to my sister about this. And she said to me, oh no, you are in trouble. You should probably check out this video. And it was more like a checklist video of twin flame signs with an auto bot. It was not even a person's voice. It was an automated voice with the 21, I believe it was 21 signs flashing across the screen. And I was able to check mark about 15 or 16 of those signs. And I was like, what in the world is this? And from that point forward, I really did feel like I was living this double life, if you will, because I was like, okay, there's this person who doesn't want me in his life, but that there's all this other stuff going on behind the scenes that's pulling me to this person. And meanwhile, I'm trying to live my life. And so if you have had that experience, you know full on what that experience feels like. And the experience feels like there's something else here. There's something going on that I'm not choosing. There's something going on that is drawing me to this person that is my twin flame. But meanwhile, the physical circumstances are impossible. So you might be married, your twin flame might be married, you might be in a long-term relationship, your twin flame might be in a long-term relationship. You might have geographical distance between you. Some people live in other countries or across the country. There are many circumstances that keep you in physical separation. And notably, one of them is your twin flame happens to tell you, hey, I don't want to be in your life. So there are all these reasons, and the client in question asked me, hey, like, this person's not in my life. This person is not physically in my life. We're not in contact. There's no chatting. There's no texting. There's no calling. There is nothing going on. But I really feel like I'm leading a double life. Why is that? Why do I feel like that? And the reason that you feel like that is your soul's calling. Your soul is calling you to this spiritual awakening. Your soul is calling you to this other soul so that you can reintegrate the soul. Now, I do talk a lot about that in my book, Twin Flame Union, 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey. So if you're interested in understanding why we go through all this process and how we get to soul integration, do check out that book. But it's because we have to go through this process. We have to go through the process of obsession. We have to go through the process of awakening, heart activation, all the signs of a twin flame journey, all the 8 stages of a twin flame journey so that we may heal. Let me tell you the good news. The good news is the feeling that you're living a double life will subside when you have worked through all of the wounding and all of the healing having to do with your twin flame journey. So for example, for myself, I've been on the journey for nearly 5.5 years, and I no longer feel as if I'm leading a double life. My twin flame and I are not together. And I've mentioned that in many other vlogs and videos. So if you would like to follow that, do check out my twin flame story week by week. I have an entire playlist dedicated to that, which I'll put right here. And you can kind of follow along with the different stages of my twin flame journey. But I no longer feel that, oh my God, I'm being pulled in 2 different directions. And the reason for that is because I have healed everything related to my twin flame. Now, that doesn't mean I'm completely healed. I don't feel that we're ever a complete process. If we were, we wouldn't have a reason to still remain on earth. If we were really complete, our soul would just recycle and we'd go on to the next lifetime. But I feel like if you no longer feel an obsession, if you no longer feel like you're cheating, if you no longer feel like you're leading a double life, and it's because you have completely healed. And so what does that mean? It means that your twin flame becomes almost like a guardian angel, like their presence is still there. They become kind of like a guardian angel looking after you in this lifetime. And I'm sure you, your higher self, in other words, is looking after your twin flame in this lifetime. But if it's not time for you to be together physically, if it might not even be time in this lifetime for you to be together physically, then you are fully free to move forward with your life with whomever you want, whomever you choose. And I know a lot of you don't believe that right now, but when you get to that full soul integration, it just happens that maybe it's your twin flame, maybe it's somebody else, but you don't feel pulled in 2 different directions anymore. And I think when my client was saying, why do I feel like I'm living a double life? It's because this client felt that they are being pulled in 2 separate directions. And for me, that took about 3.5 years, maybe 4 of the journey to no longer feel that I was being pulled in 2 different directions. That it was like, ooh, if I'm dating someone else, it feels like I am leading a double life, even though my twin flame and I are not together. And it's almost like I feel like I have this deep, dark secret on this side that is my twin flame and my twin flame journey. And I'm trying to lead my normal life on this side. And sometimes the feeling of that happens because we're not done integrating the soul. We're not done with the work, the childhood wounds, the inner healing that we need to do. And so that's why you constantly feel pulled in one direction or another. Now, the other reason is if you are not in total separation from your twin flame. If you are not in total physical separation from your twin flame, then it's understandable that you would be pulled in two different directions. So if you're not with them full time, but then you want to lead a normal life outside of that, you would be feeling, hey, I feel like I'm living these two lives. If you are in a situation where you are in total separation from your twin flame, there's no contact, there's no physical contact, there's no communication, you're in total separation, and you are married to somebody else, in a relationship with somebody else, leading a life that is fulfilling and healthy and whole, and you're still feeling like, why do I feel like I'm not living that life fully? Why am I always drawn back to my twin flame life? And the reason is because you are not healed, but rest assured, you're not cheating if there's nothing going on. If there's no emotional connection, meaning like you're not texting each other or messaging each other or writing each other on social media, there's no emotional affair going on. There's no physical affair going on. There's nothing going on. Everything that is going on in that case is on the soul level. So if you are being pulled to that, it's your soul being pulled to your twin flame and your twin flame journey. And your soul is telling you, we need to change paths in order to fulfill our destiny. And once you have healed that, once you have gotten on the right life path, if you will, then that pull is no longer present. If you are, for example, in another relationship, and then all of a sudden, without asking for it, you met a twin flame, and you are feeling this feeling of leading a double life, chances are it might be a good idea to take a look at the relationship you were in prior to meeting your twin flame. Because chances are that relationship that you had been in or are still in is not aligning with the spiritual growth, the personal growth of the person that you are now and the person that you need to be moving forward. So know that the feeling of being tugged toward your twin flame or towards your twin flame journey in total separation, it literally means you are not done with the spiritual growth that needs to be moved through on your twin flame journey. And just take a look at that. Try as hard as you can not to feel guilty or shamed or feel like you're cheating, because nothing is going on in the 3D. It's just your soul calling you to a different path. And if you need to, take some time to explore your path. Take some time to explore your spiritual path. And if that means you need to separate yourself from certain things in your current life so that you can take the time you need to explore your own life, and that's independent of your twin flame, of course, but take the time that you need. Growth is normal. Change is normal. We don't often think about that as a normalcy. Often when we enter into a relationship, we don't want it to change. We don't want the love to change. We don't want the person to change. But change is a constant. Change is inevitable. And so if you are feeling, I don't feel right in either place. Like in my twin flame world, my twin flame is nowhere to be found. But in my real world with my spouse, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, I feel out of sorts. I don't feel like it's right. It felt right before and now it doesn't feel right. There's something off. There's something wrong. Then it's time to just explore that aspect of things and explore the why in your own growth. And that's the best way to move about and move through this feeling of leading a double life. Just know that people change, people grow, and it's no reason to jump the gun on anything major in your life as you're going through this spiritual awakening. It's better to sit back and observe, to journal, to get in touch with your feelings, and if necessary, get in touch with a therapist, not for your twin flame journey, because oftentimes Therapists do not understand what a spiritual journey is about. Sometimes they do, but more about the inner turmoil, more about the feeling of dissatisfaction with your life, or maybe this sense of, I feel like something's not quite right, or I feel like my relationship was okay and now it doesn't feel okay, or maybe my career, I just feel like I'm not doing the thing that I want to do. And so sometimes it's really good during these periods of time to get in touch with a third party, a counselor, a therapist, a clergy person, whomever, that can maybe help you through this life change and just feeling like, I feel like I'm being called in a different direction, but I'm not sure which way to go. So I hope this was helpful, Twin Flame. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell scroll up top for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other Twin Flames. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 11 published books. You can join a Twin Flame boot camp, number 1 or number 2. I also have a meditation course. All the links are below. And I will see you in the next video.